Or I can be here.
When you switch your camera off, I will start. Hello, everybody. I would like to welcome you on our side event of European Bauhaus Festival. It's a talk by interesting circle of people who are living and working in the heart of Europe. And now we have some partners also in Brussels in participating in NEP Festival Live. So welcome everybody again, and I will start our presentation and you will see very early what it is all about. So give me a second to start the presentation. I'm sorry, just some technical problems. I don't see my controllers now. Yes, I see it. Sorry for it. Okay, I will just check that you can see our presentation. This is the title of our event. It's NEP in the Heart of Europe, talk by the Year of Climate Care Network. I am Maria Benečková-Ryšková and I am curator of the project and of the network, and also I am member of the European Bauhaus Roundtable, which is an informal group who is from the beginning trying to help all this activity. And of course now, as you all know, we are joining a festival that we really hope that will be really opportunity to be together for a beautiful and sustainable future. What was our motivation to collect and to form this network of several organizers, several interesting activities from the Central Europe? Was this aim or some aims of the whole initiative of European Bauhaus? We really wanted to join this creative and transdisciplinary movement. And actually, what is the purpose of our presentation today? To show that we are here and we are willing to collaborate, to show several examples what we already did, and to show that we work here already for some time. It's not like only new activities, but the circle, the aim to connect, to work together is really somehow inspired and started by whole European Bauhaus initiative. This is another slide which shows our motivation. We realize that the roles, some disciplines and our work has to change according to climate change and its impact. And we are willing to do this, we are willing to change, we are willing to think about the new roles and help to create them. So for this, we form a network of several organizers. I will say all of them, and today we will have several partners who are talking about their activity, about their motivation. So we have Academy of Fine Arts, Vienna, Impact Academy. Then there is Network for Independent Culture, which is operating in whole Slovakia. It's called Antenna. EVNIC cluster is helping and supporting all the activity. Goethe-Institut Bratislava is initiator of the whole activity. Manifest 2020, it's another network. It's a group of several organizations, and it was the first partner of European Bauhaus. The Nasuti Festival, it's a very interesting activity aimed on intersection between arts and sustainability, Nová Cvernovka, also member of Antenna, member of Manifest and Creative Center. Punkt, it's a community organization who is for many years already developing activities in Bratislava and all Slovakia. Then we have two professional organizations, Slovak Chamber of Architects and Slovak Design Center, who has a really great role in education of professionals and work with them, and French Institute in Slovakia. It's another initiator and supporter of our activities. Now I would like to welcome to our virtual stage Georg, who is from Impact Academy, and actually Georg is now in Brussels, and he's talking about their activities, about the connection with Year of Climate Care from the very heart of European Bauhaus Festival. So please, Georg.
Thank you, Maria, and hi, everybody. Yeah, here in Brussels, it's really quite busy around this new European Bauhaus Festival. There are a lot of events going on. I am sitting here in a lovely classroom where they educate children in creating sustainable architecture. And it's in the center, which is called SIVA, which is really a great place. You have to check it out when you are here. Half an hour ago, I was on a panel with Kirsten Dunlops. She's the CEO of the Climate Kick. So it is really heavily connected, and I'm super happy that the Year of Climate Care 2020, as we are here as partners, and also the Academy of Fine Art, especially the Impact Academy, is part of this cooperation, bringing together this interregional and interdisciplinary project on. And as Maria said, we are really willing to do something, and this is an approach which should really foster in every corner, in every small, middle, and big scale project, because time is running. And by this means, we know we all have to act. And I will now give you a little insight on, if the screen would be shared again, what the Impact Academy in Vienna is doing and what we actually did so far in the Year of Climate Care. Yeah, so the Year of Climate Care part, or actually like sub-part of the new European Bauhaus Festival, and Impact Academy as a prototypical institution for the future of the Academy of Fine Arts in Vienna. I mean, when I get the next slide, you will see why, because this is what we call dirty sustainability. That's not the new European Bauhaus. This is like an old villa we are using. We don't have a heating. We actually have very limited support of electricity and stuff like that, what we are called the contemporary life situation. And we're trying to make the best out of it, to use it as a hub, as a center, as an impact academy, where we have studios in residence, where we are doing different formats and different vocational training and education levels to show how can artists and creatives contribute to this greater idea of the Green Deal and to make a sustainable living within the next years happen, and as well what can be the options and what can be the strings and the critical elements in that. So maybe the next slide. So just really briefly to show what we are doing, there is a vocational and training and education unit, which is focusing on the SDGs, which is mainly working with societal challenges, the Sustainable Development Goal, and what is called the 21st century skills. So there we see that artists play or could play a very good role, and also creatives can contribute to a greater inter- and transdisciplinary network to work together and to make the Year of Climate Care, which is not, so to say, climate change. It is more like caring about what we are doing, finding the interest. We're doing studio in residence in the first floor, so we always select artists who actually deal with the building and in the building. So we have the Year of Climate Care residency with it, which is still open call. You can find on our website, where we are hosting an artist or artistic researcher in September 2022 in Vienna in the Impact Academy. We're doing the transfer hubs, so it's dealing with postgrad life, finding into, after studying, into a kind of sustainable world, how to reflect on the SDGs and how to get active within that as well. We are actually supporting projects to help them to get funded. So we are doing a crowdfunders hub, And we're having a challenge impact hub where we are dealing with the issue, how can we challenge this impact and what does it actually mean? There is a new project going on, which is called From STEM to STEAM, which is also taking place at the Impact Academy. It's dealing with openness, with art and science, with Climate Kick Accelerator, and all these kind of things connected in a greater sense. And today, I'm sitting here because I'm doing lectures on actionable futures, which is part of the European Forum of Advanced Practices. For any details, I think you can actually visit the search engine and find out what's going on. I mean, there is really a lot of stuff going on. So I really want to thank you, and I'm looking forward to that our project is going on. I'm a big fan of the Year of Climate Care. Last week, we had the Unconference with educators, with trainers, at the Impact Academy and in Bratislava, and it was a great success. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much, Georg. As I understood, you will need to leave soon. And yeah, we have...
I can stay a little bit, but okay. I have to leave in a certain time, yes.
Yeah, we have all partners always on the run, so there will be another joining us soon. And so thank you very much, Georg. So we have Ljubica Šimkovicová, and I will switch off the screen for a while to see us all. So Ljubica Šimkovicová, she's head of Manifest 2020, who is also one of the organizers of today's event and who was first partner of European Bauhaus. So please, Ljubica.
Thank you, Maria. You are pronouncing my name so nice and so soft. So thank you for that. And I'm proud that I represent here Manifest 2020. Which is the first official partner of New European Bauhaus in Slovakia. The New European Bauhaus initiative connects the European Green Deal to our living spaces. It calls on all Europeans to imagine and build together a sustainable and inclusive future that is beautiful for our eyes, minds, and souls. And we see the European Bauhaus as a bridge between the world of science and technology and the world of the art and culture. It's an invitation to change perspective and to look to our green and digital tech challenges as opportunities to transform our lives for the better. Let's go to the next slide. Okay. Manifest 2020 is an NGO. It has become a platform of industry leaders, experts, and innovators in sustainable architectural design and construction, cultural and creative industry, financial sector, etc., etc. It is representing professional organizations such as Goethe-Institut Slovakia, Slovak Green Building Council, Slovak Chamber of Architects, Chief City Architects of Bratislava, Buildings for the Future, Institute of Urban Development, Built in Timber Initiative, the biggest creative and cultural hub in Slovakia, Nová Cvernovka, and others. Next slide, please. New European Bauhaus in Slovakia means advancing the green cultural transformation. It is a platform for experimentation and connection, fostering collaboration across thinkers, doers who works to design for our future ways of living together. I guess it could be interesting to say some words how Manifest 2020 was established. The great and the most important incentive came from RIBA, Royal Institute of British Architects, and its initiative Architects Declare, which is also an NGO launched in the UK in May 2019. So after that, we organized our national initiative called Manifest 2020, and we are motivating players of our building sector to change their stereotypes, working stereotypes, and adopt new strategies. So far, we organize many events to do so, to change the minds and to contribute to our mission. And on the slide, you can see a number of signatories of Manifest 2020 initiative, which is still open and welcome for all of you. So we are proud to be a part of the project, the Year of Climate Care. We have met many inspiring people and exchanged new ideas. And I'm looking forward to the next presentation, to next cooperation. So now, Eugen, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you, Lubica. And Lubica will help me from now, maybe with some questions while I'm struggling with sharing screen and presentations. Then she can think about the next question. So I'm sharing the screen for Eugen. So Eugen Korda.
Hello there. So my name is Eugen, and I'm the author of Year of Climate Care's Visual Identity, which we're going to talk about for the next few minutes. So thanks for inviting me to talk about how we made it. I think it might help everyone better understand where it's coming from and how the idea of this project is baked right into the small details of the visuals. So it might be actually interesting. If you go just back one slide, Maria, please. So this is the logo. It's very simple. It's just a rectangle filled with a bunch of colors with the year 2020 on the top and the bottom, right? And the name Year of Climate Care up center. And this is pretty simple, but it actually draws inspiration from some key visual cues connected to climate change. Now you can switch. For example, the colors are inspired by probably the most common visual aid used when talking about climate change, which is a heat map. Right, it can depict temperature increase, it can depict shoreline changes and a lot of other things. And it makes it a super variable source of color combinations, which is very nifty and a great source of inspiration. And then you might have noticed on the next slide that the colors are organized in a radial or a circular fashion. And this actually copies the shape of Earth. And this is, I think, pretty self-explanatory why we chose this. So if we combine the colors and the shape, we get these countless wonderful combinations of colors that we can create indefinitely, which you can see on the next slide, while we still keep our communication consistent. So this is where the colors are coming from. Now, about the shapes, the rectangular shape is actually just a sheet of paper that you would see in a calendar that you hang up on the wall. The calendar makes sense because it's Year of Climate Care 2022, right? So yeah, it's also very translatable to other languages like Slovak here. So the logo is pretty variable. If we do a project one day in, I don't know, Czech, it's also possible, right? Yeah, so if we, it really comes to life when we remove the logo from the colorful shape and use the shape as actual calendar entries, like you can see on our websites. These are single sheets of the calendar, right? Each is one event, and it also works as articles when we just fold one corner of the paper and the logo turns into an article. So feel free to explore our website. It's full of these small visual cues that are connected to the identity. So now you're now on the right slide, Maria. This is a funny thing, actually, which is the last thing I'm going to mention about the identity, is the choice of typography for the project. There is one font that is called Greed, and the other one is called Karma, which are two words, greed and karma, that very well describe our current situation with climate change, right? So that's a pretty funny thing. I think we would have chosen the fonts anyway if they were differently named, but I think this is just a wonderful coincidence to have in the project. So this is our project motto, or our kind of a mission, connecting creative people and projects to craft fresh solutions to climate change. This kind of simplifies what we're here to do, but there's of course much more depth to the entire project, which you can again witness on the website. And this is all possible thanks to the wonderful people and organizations who are taking part of this, which is why they're also written in our brand gradient colorful system. Yeah, and that's really it. It's a simple identity that draws inspiration from the core things that we're all interested here together. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Again, when I listen to you, I think about it only if everything would be so smooth and so positive as your identity, you know, when we're talking about
yeah, maybe one day.
You know, we are working on it, right? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Lubica, you have any question or should we move?
Oh, just a comment that colors are connecting us. So this is
Yes.
my motto for today. I started with black color, so
Okay.
let's go.
Perfect. So I would call on our virtual stage Nora Vranová, and she's from Slovak Chamber of Architects, but she's also a member of Manifest 2020. I forgot to put your function here, and I will switch sharing and we will see ourselves again. And I just will have a note that you can see one image which is moving, and it's Zuzana, who is actually in Brussels, and she's showing us what's happening there. So please, Nora, tell us about it.
Thank you for the word. Slovak Chamber of Architects is a professional body associating all the authorized architects in Slovakia. And I will talk a little bit about relationship between this professional body, New European Bauhaus, and Year of Climate Care project. Architecture is usually considered to be the most technical art or the most artistic engineering. And we architects, therefore, often feel excluded from both areas. And the New European Bauhaus initiative has finally given us that feeling that these two spheres can not only coexist, but complement each other, and in the same time aim towards environmental and social sustainability. Architects are also team players. It's from the nature of their profession. But Year of Climate Care project has spread the circle of our partners much wider. For example, including people from creative community, from cultural centers and different NGOs, with whom we share the same goal. Thus, together, we have a higher impact and the chance to promote these goals towards self-government, towards public institutions and other stakeholders. And one of these ideas, I'm going to be more particular, that we identify this in the Slovak Chamber of Architects is, for example, the one that the most sustainable buildings are those who are already built. So as a part of this year communication strategy of Slovak Chamber of Architects, which is called Regeneration, we want to focus much more on existing buildings and their meaningful and future-proof adaptive reuse. And this is maybe one of our goals in the frame of Year of Climate Care. So thank you for this short space for our presentation.
Okay, thank you, Nora. And yes, like if Lubica, if you have any question, we are waiting for Boris to join us.
Well, maybe we could give some question from our prepared questions box. Well, I would like to ask all of you, and it doesn't matter who will decide to answer. If you could define somehow what means for you the cooperation and your position in this project, the Year of Climate Care. Maybe Georg. Then.
Yeah, I would love to, because I really think this is at the moment it is a growing initiative, and it really comes down to earth. So it's for me and also for us very important, not just having a very theoretical or a very high-level discussion on that. This is really to become a movement where we should include nearly everybody on earth. This is not so easy, I would say, if we don't work together here. And it shows even cross-border cooperation from Vienna to Slovakia. I mean, there are some challenges, and if we don't do this now, and if we don't do this today, I really have the feeling that it would be too late if we think too long about it. So I think this is a call to action for me, and I feel very happy about that.
Yes. Well, maybe Nora, if you have some comment to my question or some idea, and what's your inspiration to be here?
Oh, my inspiration came from the concept paper of New European Bauhaus, which I found a very inspirative document, considering a very wide range of topics, all connected with the same aim to keep our lives together sustainable for the future. So this was the main inspiration. And as far as architecture creates surroundings or creates the frame for all our activities, so that's why I find it very useful also for architects, or very important for architects.
Yes, I see. And I see Boris.
Hello.
Hello. Yes. Sorry for the later arrival.
Okay. So we already share screen with your presentation, Boris, and I didn't explain why you are later, so maybe you can start with it. But I just said that all our partners are always on the run, so you have to join later.
Yeah, but this time it's not just kind of busy and everything. It's because I was attending another side event from the European Bauhaus Festival in Brussels, where I was supposed to be physically, but thanks to this corona and everything, I had to stay at home. So I was also able to join you here. So I'm glad that I am here now.
So just I will go through slides, and whenever you want to stop me or say.
Yeah, okay, you can just so basically I would like to maybe just quickly introduce our cultural center, Nova Crvenovka, which is a or most of the people know us as a cultural center, but I think Nova Crvenovka is much more than that at this point and wants to be in the future. And it emerged as a kind of bottom-up initiative when people or the artists and studios from Old Crvenovka had to move, and at this point it's around 400 people working on daily basis in those two buildings of Nova Crvenovka, and also the cultural venue has several stages where cultural program is held. And from the very beginning, the topics of sustainability were a big part of the story. And this is an example of an exhibition we did on climate, on the topic of climate, which is called Volba to 2050.world. It's an online version as well. One of the projects that we did that was really connected to sustainability and communities as well is that during the reconstruction, we created a lot of construction rubble, and we didn't, for 3 years, we didn't know what to do with it actually. So, but when the time came, we had to really get rid of it, and we didn't want to do that. So we were able to transform it into new pavements and spaces in the new park. And this was done with the help of the community that actually created this rubble. So it was a kind of educational process as well, and also an innovation in terms of what can be done with this kind of waste materials that are actually not waste, but are actually materials if you use them right. So this is something that we always show as a kind of example of our kind of thinking. Also on a smaller scale, but this was a kind of middle scale, but it's part of a park where there are a lot of other public amenities and functions that work for either the people that are working or living in Nova Crvenovka, but also for the surroundings, for the communities that live around Nova Crvenovka. So there's a small playground, a community garden, and other aspects like urban farming, which are kind of connecting the whole ecosystem of people working, living, and enjoying Nova Crvenovka, because, for example, if you go to the next slide, the waste from the whole campus around those buildings, and also from the buildings themselves, it goes into composting system, which then is used in the community garden, and then the food from the community garden is used in the community kitchen or the bistro and bar, which are part of the civil amenities for Nova Crvenovka. So. And when we say campus of Nova Crvenovka, it's not really just the creative and cultural center, which we are maybe best known for, but also the Center for Performing and Visual Arts. It's a residential center for dance at this point, in a kind of laboratory stage. And then is the Center for Metropolitan Innovation of Bratislava, which is a project we've been working on for the past years. And I will talk about it a little bit later. We can go to the next slide. For all of these buildings, we have a kind of several aspects of reconstruction we would like to do, and transformation we would like to do. And I'm not going to show all of them, but for example, for the school building, there is this living roof concept where you really transform the roofs of any flat roof into a kind of living organism for either social or productive functions, or generating of electricity. And it's something that can be replicated elsewhere also, since there are a lot of these kind of buildings around Eastern Europe, for example. But if we go further, this is the Center for Metropolitan Innovation. It was a collaborative project with IPD as well, and it was funded by the DBU Foundation, a German foundation for environmental knowledge exchange, and done with FHP and ID22 partners from Germany. And the ambition, it's combining several functions: living, working, and public services such as kindergarten or community center into one building. And the building has an ambition to be the first Energy Plus building, which means that it will produce more energy during the whole year that it will consume for heating and cooling. So if you go to the next slides, this is an example of how can an old building from the 60s, which is really energy inefficient and not really in a great shape, can be transformed and not teared down and repurposed for new usage. And as you can see, the shape of the roof extension that we would like to add there, it's in this shape of this factory lightnings, or where you get the northern light for the bigger spaces. And then on the next slide, you can also see. Oh, okay, it's not there. Sorry. That on the other shape of the roof, you get the space for the solar panels. So in that case, you get best of both worlds, that you don't get overheated spaces, but at the same time you use that for electricity. And Nova Crvenovka can be a kind of center for this, for the whole district, which is kind of combined from brownfields and residential areas of different types. And there are 2 railway stations and a lot of railway around. So this is something that we can, Nova Crvenovka would like to become a kind of urban eco-center where you show all of these circular principles and all of these regenerative transformation principles for buildings, how they can work together, and people coming in for the cultural events or being a kind of public space, they can really live and see how they actually work. And in this sense, the cultural centers can be front runners in the transformation of the society that needs to be done in the upcoming years, because it's not just about the physical transformation, it's also about the kind of mental transformation, how we think about things and how in our daily life. So yeah, just a quick introduction.
Okay, this is great. Like your space, or our space, let's say Nova Crvenovka, really became a location which naturally attracts people who are working around climate care, climate change, finding new solutions. So like really thank you and your colleagues for all the work. And yes, like if Lubica, do you have Any question?
Yes, I would like to say that you are the pioneers, Boris and Nova Cvernovka. You guys are working very hard on this, and I like it very much. And I'm very pleased that we are a part of this transformation, because we worked on the project of Energy Plus building together, Passive House Institute Slovakia. I mean, and well, it looks very, very good. And so let's go to realize.
Yes, hopefully.
Okay.
Maybe we can ask another. Thank you, Boris. And Zuzana, she was until now showing us the city, Brussels, how it looks like there during festival, but I don't know if you are here. She was writing to me on Messenger that she has now some problems. Probably she was the half an hour too agile with the Zoom, and we can maybe wait for a second if she will connect. If not, I would ask Marcus, and I will try to catch her. Like, we saw something from what she's doing the whole day. She's like walking the city, sending images and trying to check the most from the festival, because she will write a report which we will share as the network, because this is also one of our roles, that we would like to share information about similar projects. So now please, Marcus Huber, who is head of Goethe-Institut, and yes, like you are initiator of the project, we should say it, and you will have some conclusion words. And during this, I will try to check Zuzana if she will connect us. If not, then we can say a few. Okay, sorry, something is happening. Zuzana is unmuting. Okay, so go now, Marcus, please, and I will check Zuzana.
Okay, super. Thank you, Maria. I'm the head of the Goethe-Institut in Bratislava, and I think there's not so much to say from my side at this point, because we already heard from all the partners, not all the partners, because these are only a few partners of this network here of climate change, climate care, what they are doing, what they've done before this project, and what they will do also after that project. So I'm very happy that the Year of Climate Care actually provides at least a frame for connecting, exchanging, further developing concepts, ideas, and projects within this 1 year. I also have to say that I'm talking for two people today. My colleague from the French Institute, Jean-Marc Kassamchenai, cannot join us today. He sends his best greetings. And I suppose one reason why I'm also here is that through the German-French cooperation, we are able to provide at least kind of a basic financial framework, but that is kind of the minor aspect. I think the topic itself is something that drives both of our organizations, the French Institute and the Goethe-Institut, since some time now. Speaking for the Goethe-Institut, there is a lot of rethinking, redeveloping the way we are working as a global organization, and what that means in different local contexts that we are collaborating, because we are 145, 54 Goethe-Instituts worldwide. So we are in many different ecosystems and need to work and adapt within these ecosystems. And kind of one learning aspect is that we try to share the learnings and the projects that we are locally developing within our global network, so that all of the Goethe-Instituts as an organization and for the organizational development can adapt these learnings. And while Lupita was asking this question of inspiration, maybe I picked that up, and one of the inspirations also for this project very much is an experience that there are a lot of organizations and a lot of developments and ideas and concepts and prototypes that relate to how we can, as an organization, as an individual, as a society, tackle climate change and come up with some solutions for it. But still, even though we are in 2022, it's really difficult to connect different organizations and have this transversal, transdisciplinary conversation, exchange, and collaboration. And that is one inspiration for me. And I already see this, even though we are half into the year of this project, already fulfilled, because we are really a network of organizations and collaborators from many different fields that are working together. And I'm very happy about that. And I leave it with that because Susanna is back online.
Yes, so please unmute yourself and try to say something.
Hi, I'm sending greetings from the heart of the new European Bauhaus initiative, so to speak. We had a possibility to almost touch Ursula von der Leyen, but she was also transmitted because she is now in Rome. I'm in Brussels, and there are a lot of activities, as you were maybe able to see. Or I can just switch the camera if I find the right button. Well, and I'm here to represent the.
Okay. Now we cannot hear you. When you switched it, the sound was unmuted. So please. Okay. Yes, now we can hear you. You are representing, I started to say, you are representing Nasuti Festival, I dare to.
I am representing Nasuti Festival and Creative Europe. And I feel like at home because there is this architecture of a new European Bauhaus fair made out of rubbles, as well as our festival is. And we try, together with the curator Diana Klepoch-Majdakova, we try to bring out fresh ideas to the artistic discourse that are connected with climate care, climate crisis, and so on, because we all can be generators of these changes, and they can stir up some discussions in a different way than scientists. But we should all work together, and we should all have the same purpose as is here in this initiative. What else would you like me to say? Yeah, it's been so far since the morning, a lot of talks, informal meetings, and yeah, we are full for the future. Okay. Now I speak like a politician, yeah, I know, but it's also our point as out with some other of communicate and don't repeat the same cliche.
Okay.
We are happy to having you here.
So greetings.
Okay. Thank you, Susanna.
Perfect. So thank you for this entrance, and we believe you will bring us the whole report from your trip. And yes, like now it was symbolical that Susanna from Brussels finished our talk. And yes, this was Year of Climate Care. We are a network, we are a circle, we are friends, we are people who are working in Central Europe. So please visit our website, yearofclimate.care, and we will be really happy if you will approach us and we can start more communications and more collaborations. Thank you very much, and thanks to all colleagues, and greetings to all partners of our circle.
Thank you, Maria. Thank you all. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.